on all the time these days.
Can't turn it off.
No, seriously. People are wondering why this guy is even on.
Let's turn it off.
Alan Cox on 100.7 WMMS.
I guess shark attacks are back. They talk about how with the waters warming in general, it just makes sharks, they move closer to the shore in a lot of places. It's not unusual to see what are very clearly sharks far closer to shallow water than they used to be, and that leads to a lot of people potentially getting into trouble. I remember last summer we were at the Jersey Shore for a few days, and it was stunning to see how close the sharks were to where the shore was, where the sand met the water, obviously. But it's kind of either feast or famine with them talking about shark attacks. I was reading about a dude who just got eaten up, man. This guy got killed. A 35-year-old dude that they said, and I guess maybe they tried to put a better face on it because they said that it was a provoked incident, I guess to imply that if this guy hadn't been dicking around with a shark,
would have been okay.
He would have been okay. Yeah. Because he was filming it, and I guess the video's online somewhere. It's like he was trying to play with a great white shark. Or, some of these guys have spent a lot of time in the water, whether it's professional or recreational. I think a lot of them get this sense that, like, they're one with the animal, and they forget that these are giant killers. And the thing just ate him up. And thrashing the guy's body and whatever, The shark came and attacked him vertically. That sounds like he's tried to swallow the guy, which is pretty gross. But I'm wondering if this means that shark attacks in general are coming back. Because a lot of times, shark experts, people who study them, will say that it's pretty seldom that a shark will bite a swimmer more than once. A lot of people, they'll either get a limb bitten off, which I assume counts as one bite, technically. Other people will just get a bite in their leg, the teeth marks. But the people who study these animals say that it's pretty rare that they'll bite more than once, which they take as an indication that they aren't fans of human flesh. It's more likely that they mistake a part of your body for a fish, like a hand or a foot.
Or a seal or something like that is what they would say is what normally happens with shark attacks on surfers is they think you're a seal and then you're not. So, yeah, that's why
sharks are really stupid. Keep that in mind. They're really dumb.
Stupid sharks.
Now, conversely, do they ever
know how to walk?
Conversely, is a seal ever saved because they've mistaken it for a surfer? And if you could teach a seal to surf, wouldn't that make it doubly safe?
Make it, yeah, for sure, because you got the board there to protect you.
I mean, I hope that if I'm ever in the ocean and a shark mistakes some dangling part of my body for a fish, I hope it's a hand or a foot. I really, really hope that. On the subject of losing legs, there's a guy in St. Louis who's really, really mad because American Airlines lost his prosthetic leg, and they won't reimburse him. If you lose your luggage or you lose something, they usually will just go, hey, we'll give you a food voucher. You're like, cool, but I don't have clothes for the trip. A good packing hack that my wife turned me on to is you put a day's worth of clothes in your backpack, whatever's coming on with you, because if they lose your luggage, at least you got something to change into. When we went to Arizona, I said, that's a good move. It's not something, it's not revolutionary, but it would have never occurred to me. I'm not that bright. So this guy in St. Louis, a guy named Michael Williams, he's like, it's not easy traveling with a prosthetic leg, and they're also not cheap. So they lost his leg, and it cost $26,000. So obviously, the airlines are pinching every penny they possibly can. You think that it would be a no-brainer to just go, hey, bro, this is a special made leg. He put the Fragile sticker on it and then gives it to the girl like he's checking it like luggage. So he's got to wait for it to come down. Man, I feel like you'd put that. There's got to be a way to put that in the overhead bin. Would you ever check a leg?
I hope I never have to.
Well,
but yeah, I feel like
too.
that's a weird thing to check. But I mean, if it's uncomfortable to have on while you're on the plane, and
there's nothing comfortable about being on a plane in the first place. At least on the plane,
you get more leg room.
Yeah, you could take it off on the put it down below.
It's bad enough though when people take off their shoes on a plane. If you're taking off your whole leg, be like, dude, that's rude.
I do not. Not only is it rude, why would you ever want to stand barefoot on a plane floor? I mean, when I'm on a plane, I've got a hoodie on, I've got a cap on. I'm trying to cover every hole I have on my body. Other than
359.
Yeah. Other than my nose holes, so I can breathe properly. People get way too comfortable on these flights. Bare feet. Oh, God.
Just flying with sandals is weird to me.
I mean, I understand. Listen, I understand wanting to be comfortable, but is that really comfortable to have your bare feet on the floor of an airplane?
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember people walking around with toe fungus.
Dealing with a prosthetic leg is not as easy as people think it is. You can't do this to somebody that's disabled. Just say, hey, we lost something of yours, but we're not going to pay for it. The special made leg, I put it in my suitcase. When I get to St. Louis Airport, I'm sitting there waiting for my luggage to come off and never comes off. $26,000. When you find the one that works, that's the one you want to hold on to.
And this is a big guy, by the way. Big dude in a wheelchair. And his prosthetic leg from the knee down.
Man, that's
$26,000. American Airlines,
they're paying for it, I hope.
Not so far.
Oh,
he said they sent him a check for $600 for the lost clothing. But he's like, yeah, my leg cost $26,000.
That's when he got it. It's probably due to inflation up to an even 30. And
yeah,
on top of that, the time, just all the frustration and stuff like that, give him $40,000. Do the right thing.
Well, he had to submit a claim, and they gave him $600. So that seems to me like a situation where you go, all right, I don't want to have to get into litigation here, but this is a very clear-cut case of you guys lost something, and it's not cheap. It's something I need. And all they told them was that they didn't have enough evidence to pay for the leg, so they're not going to pay. We don't have enough proof or evidence. Because in their mind, they're like, hey, listen, Pixar, it didn't happen. Nothing we can do about it. He's like, yeah, well, I'm back here. I'm down to one leg. Here's your proof. Here's a picture of me leaning. So, yeah, he's got a lawyer and all that, but $26,650 is what it cost. I want to know how he lost the leg. They always leave out, they're so focused on kind of the...
Said he's a big guy.
Diabetes?
Yeah.
You think that's what it is? He got the beatus?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I thought you just lose a foot from the beatus.
I mean, it depends on...
I don't know anything about it. I don't have any... I think I had an uncle who was of a pretty generous carriage when I was a young kid. He was like a bon vivant. I think this was my uncle who was probably gay, but heavily Catholic, and so never came out. But he never married. He was a florist. I mean, he checked a couple of the stereotypical boxes, but he was of all of our favorite uncles, and we love the guy. He's my grandmother's brother, so whatever that makes. Not uncle, but we called him uncle. And I'm pretty sure he was gay, but I remember he lost, because he loved his wine and like his rich foods. He was just like was one of those guys. He liked the finer things, right? And I think
to indulge.
Yeah. And I think it cost him a few toes. And maybe that's a small price to pay. Maybe it's not that big of a deal.
Maybe. I think it probably
Somebody
is.
goes,
though.
you can live how you want, but you're going to lose a couple of toes. Now, it will throw off your gait a little bit, right? People don't realize how much work, for instance, they don't realize how much work their pinky toe is doing.
Right.
Doing a lot of work. But if you're like, yeah, okay, some people would be willing to make that compromise. This guy just wants his leg back.
Diabetes.
Yeah! What you got?
Diabetes.
Yeah!
Diabetes.
What you got?
If you have diabetes and you're on Medicare, your testing supplies may be covered. Here's how it works.
What you got? Diabetes. What you got? Diabetes. What you got? Diabetes. Type 3 diabetes. What you got? Diabetes. What you got? Diabetes. What you got? Diabetes. Type 3 diabetes. I'm getting low, not on the flow. I mean my sugar, man. I make dessert with Splenda and fresh big boogers, man.
By the way, I thought there were only 2 types of diabetes, though. The whole time I've been playing this. Type 3 is a kind of diabetes?
Is there?
I thought it was 1 and 2, but I'll take their word for it. They know what they're talking. They're singing about it.
They call me Peg Leg, the diabetic pirate. I'm in the hospital.
I assume Taint Smasher and Charlie did no small amount of research for the song years ago.
This rap thing blows up so I can get some new legs that's bionic. I got that sugar-free Red Bull in my cup. Shots of insulin, that's what's up. My pancreas is off. I have diabetes. I got that sugar-free Red Bull in my cup. Shots of insulin, that's what's up. My pancreas.
This song really is a banger, though.
Hells yes. Trusted a fart. I was farted poop.
Why is that a sign of diabetes?
That you can't trust a fart? I don't know. Maybe it messes with your gastrointestinal situation. I don't know.
I didn't know if that was like if you
Farted poop?
yeah on a regular basis maybe.
One in one eye, but I still don't know if I'm ready to kiss sweets goodbye. I give my right foot for some lemon meringue pie. I like them girls with swollen ankles and compression socks. I wanna get you naked and see your liver spots. I think a slight hunchback scoliosis is kinda hot. Yeah, type 3 diabetes.
When I did the Cleveland Funny Bus last night, which was a lot of fun. Bill's going to be your host next week. Start and end at Collision Bend. So we get back, 90-minute tour, we get back, but we're all kind of still ready to hang out. So we're hanging out for a while at Collision Bend. It's me, it's Curtis from sales,
Kurt
and
Man.
the Kurt Man, and then a bunch of people from the bus, right? Buy everybody some shots, and everybody drinking some beers and having some fun. And one person proceeds to tell me, a girl proceeds to tell me about how continuously hilarious she finds the Batman fart theme song. And I go, you know what? It's so utterly stupid. And I'm happy to hear that you enjoy it because in my mind, it's kind of a one and done, even though I haven't beaten the hell out of it, but I do love it. And she was like, every time. Because I guess she heard it in like a sum up show or something. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what's embedded.
Well, we just played it when Gwen was in a couple weeks ago.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I guarantee she didn't find it as funny. But it brought me to tears the very first time that I aired it after I made it. And I was so...
Which is so funny because you made it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I made it and I was crying making it and I was crying playing it. And I was just so gratified to hear somebody. I'm always happy, and maybe it's stereotypical and I don't want to be sexist about it. But it always does make me happy when our female fans are just as juvenile as our male fans. That's the great equalizer. And so I'm always happy to hear when somebody enjoys things like that. I don't even remember. Oh, it was because of the Batman-shaped pizza.
That's right.
Right?
Yes,
and
yes.
it was, you were going to eat a whole one. It was in the shape of Batman, and it was going to give you the toots. I think that was the
Something
premise.
like that.
Yeah, that's right. I'd like to envision somebody at a red light in a convertible just blasting them. And maybe, turning somebody next to them in traffic on to the whole Batman fart thing. Mm-hmm. You saw that they've locked down Beetlejuice 2.
Yeah.
It's going to be Michael Keaton and Jenna Ortega. Who...
She's playing Winona Ryder's daughter, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Lydia's daughter.
Lydia. Is Winona Ryder going to be in it? Is that the plan? Are you all grown up?
I think so.
Yeah. Alan Cox Show After Hours line for people who want to leave us voicemails there. Number's 216-986-8903. This came in at 1:37 a.m.
Hi, Alan. My wife thinks you are very good looking. And that's all I have to say about that.
I hope he's clearly drunk. He's slurring his words. I hope that didn't precipitate any kind of domestic situation at their house.
Right.
1:37 a.m. That call comes in.
That's
on the
hilarious.
After Hours line. And he raced to the phone to let me know that his wife is attracted to me. But you know what? I bet they're going to get through it. I bet that I don't know anything about him or their relationship, but I bet she was just saying that to make him mad. And he's too smart for that. He goes, that's not, you know what? I'm going to blow up your spot. I'm going to go right to the After Hours line and leave him a message so he can see you coming. Again, I don't know who he is, don't know who she is. But he was clear. I hope he was drunk before that. I hope that her comment didn't lead him to get sauced on a Wednesday. Well, I guess it'd be early
Thursday
Thursday
like he's in
morning.
Good spirits, though. It doesn't sound like he's angry about it. It thinks he's like, well, she finds him attractive.
Oh,
What
no,
am
I
gonna
cut
do
out
with
the
it?
whole part where he said he was coming here to murder me.
Oh,
did
well,
I not tell you about that?
That you're kind of burying the lead then.
I didn't tell you about that? Oh, yeah. Yeah. This glass is bulletproof, right? I've got to take a break.
We'll find out.
If you want to send a text, 35192. Want to go to Buzzard Fest? Want to join us for the triumphant